In 1963, a fellow by the name of Jim Teeny came up from his downstairs fly tying room and went upstairs and asked his father what he should tie for the coming day's fishing trip. And his father told him to go downstairs, tie the ugliest thing he can come up with. Jim went downstairs, did it. The next day they went out fishing, caught more steelhead than they could even imagine. That was the birth of the Teeny nymph. And in 1971, Jim started the Teeny Nymph Company, and since then has never fished a different fly. In fact, this fly actually holds more world records than any other fly. And it's been responsible for thousands and thousands of steelhead, salmon, brown trout, and all kinds of fish on the west coast, Alaska, as well as throughout the Great Lakes region. Now we want to show you this fly, first of all, because it is a pretty popular and effective fly, but it's super easy to tie. Really just super easy to tie. You can tie a bunch of them in a short period of time, and especially when you're in situations where you're losing lots of flies, you don't mind losing a few of these, and they do catch fish. Now Jim also has several other different flies. The Teeny Nymph was the original fly in the line, but he basically put a tail on one of them, came up with a Teeny Leech. You can put a wing and a little flash material on it, and he's got the Teeny Flash fly. Usually, we generally use the leech and the nymph pattern, although you can use the flash fly, you know, for different fish throughout the Great Lakes. But for the steelhead, the Teeny Nymph and the Teeny Leech are going to be your most popular and effective. Through the Teeny Nymph Company also, Jim sells the custom dyed pheasant feathers that we use for tying these teeny flies. And these are available in, I think, a dozen different colors. And they're bleached before they are dyed, so it's really the only way to get these particular colors. But the only three materials you need to tie Teeny Nymphs, another beauty of it, is some thread, some feathers, and hooks. I'm going to tie this obviously on the Teeny hook, which Jim designed these hooks specifically for the Teeny Nymphs, and their shanks are just the right length for tying these. But I can use 6/0 thread for this, no problem. Black is usually fine. Although if you want to make egg-sucking teeny flies, you just use a brightly colored thread. You know, I'll use the flat wax nylon again in a bright orange for those. But what I do is take the teeny feather, and I'm going to just grasp a bunch of those fibers and trim them right off the feather. I can even up the butts if I want to a little bit there, and then I'm going to tie those in basically right at the bend of the hook. Tie them in, secure the butts, and then I can wrap my thread forward. I'll come just behind the eye with my thread. Now the real trick is this first wrap that you're going to take with these pheasant tail fibers. And what I'm going to do is, as I start to rotate them around the hook, first of all I'm going to take my index finger and I'm going to put it on top of the feather on the opposite side of the hook shank from me to hold them so they don't spring out and unravel. And then as I come around on this first turn, I'm going to kind of spread these fibers out so they lay flat instead of being a big round bunch. And if I can get them to lay flat, that's really the trick. And I spiral them kind of at a diagonal all the way up the hook shank. Take it at a diagonal around, pinch it or hold it with my index finger, my left hand. Now you can kind of overlap this sometime to get the right proportion on these. I'm getting up a little too close to the head. I've got a little too much tips there, so I'm going to overlap a fair amount. Now, once I get up to just behind the eye, I'm going to use these tips as a beard or as legs on the underside of this fly. So what I'm going to do is pinch those with my left hand. I'm going to take the thread and throw it over top of those tips and the hook. I'll take a couple, 3 turns there, and that is first of all secured it. And now what I can do is fold these tips back with my thumb and my middle finger, fold them back and then build a head up. As I'm building a head, it's going to wrap back and over those fibers and help lay them back as if they were kind of like a beard hackle on wet flies, but they really serve to imitate legs on these teeny nymphs. These have really served us well. We've caught a lot of fish on the Lake Erie tributaries. I know there's quite a few folks up in Michigan who use teeny nymphs, and they're used pretty extensively in New York as well. But they're super easy to tie. Now, if I was tying this on a larger hook, I could actually tie two sections of this. I could almost tie two nymphs on the same hook, so you'd have two sets of legs sticking down. If I wanted to make this into a teeny leech, I'm going to put a tail on it first, a tail that's about as long as the hook shank. If I wanted to make it into a flash fly, I just tie my nymph or my double nymph, and I put a wing with a little bit of crystal flash. And with the flash flies, you can really toy around with the colors, come up with some different color combinations that'll work on any given day. But almost any of these colors, the black, the natural, this hot green, he's got all kinds of colors that he offers in these pheasant tails. They will all work on it on any given day.
If you like this video, hit subscribe. It helps out a lot. And check out these videos. We think you might like them too.